Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining. Today we are on Railroader, and if you are new to the game, this one is for you. Technically, if you're not new to the game, but you want to get a new start after some of the more recent updates, this one also might be for you. Maybe just not as much, maybe only parts of it. But today we're going to look at a few starting tips to help you get moving in Railroader faster, get making money faster. And this is all about some of the things that the tutorial doesn't actually tell you. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we are going to press the number 2 to get out of the first person camera. And I'm going to go ahead and close this out for now. The tutorial is great to read if you've never read it before. But the first thing we're going to do is grab number 2 here. Make sure the switches are lined out, and we're going to go get our wrecked locomotive. So let's go do that right now. This is the first thing you want to do, is go get this wrecked locomotive and shove him back into the engine repair facility here, because it's going to take about 13 hours to get him fixed up. You're not going to need him today, but you are definitely going to need him tomorrow. So that is tip number 1. Let's save you some time. Go get that guy, get him in the office to get repaired right now. Alright, step number 2, you're going to take this hopper right here. We're going to, obviously the tutorial tells you to go put him over there at the coal conveyor, but what you're going to do is you're going to buy a second one. We're going to do that right now. We're going to hit Shift T, go down here, get a 36-foot 2-bay hopper, one of them. We're going to purchase that. There it is, and then you're going to set its way bill. So we're going to go to Operations. We're going to unload at the coal loader, load at East Whittier, and then there it is. It will send out on the interchange, get loaded. You want to do that now because with the fact that it takes a whole 2 days now to get a car back, which makes a lot of sense, you can't afford to go a day or a day and a half without coal here because there's no reserve. This only holds 2 tons. Currently it only has half a ton, and 2 tons is not a lot when the locomotive here holds like 6 tons. So you want to go ahead and get a second coal car for each of these smaller conveyors on your railroad, and right now you only have one. And tip number 3, we're going to go to our milestones. We're going to go ahead and get the repair track and bridge. Pretty much no matter what, you want to go ahead and do this now. Even if you decide that you want to go to Silva first, which I actually like doing. I like opening up Silva first because you just purchase it and you get 1, 2, 3 new stations, as well as 2 major industries over here in Silva, but that adds like 2 hours to each day in transit time. So that's a lot, and so you're going to want to go this way regardless to get to Bryson, and eventually over here to Larka Junction where the coal mine is. So I would say go ahead and get this purchase first, and then on top of that, go to your locations, go to your interchange, and hit schedule. Go ahead and schedule that next interchange train. That way here in about 2.5 hours, those cars for that will show up. This will let you get a whole day ahead than what most people do. So helpful tip number 3. Alright, tip number 4, we're going to go over here to this caboose. We love the caboose. The caboose is great, but right now it serves no purpose. Someday it will serve a purpose. I've heard they're working on some ideas for that, but they're not there yet. So we're going to go here, control click on it, go to equipment, put sell and East Whittier interchange, and later you'll want to move this over here onto either of these 2 highlighted tracks to sell it. That's going to give you almost 4K, which is fantastic. That's very exciting. Okay. All right, this is tip number 5. So on tip number 5, we're going to go ahead here with this SPR boxcar, and we are going to make sure that he is set to unload. Actually, that's not it. Operations, unload right here. He will start unloading, and as soon as he's unloaded, we're going to go ahead and leave him there. Do not feel the pressure to take him and get him filled up with repair parts. You are not going to need them yet. All right, tip number 6, these log cars. These are for the sawmill. The sawmill's right here in East Whittier. We are not, I repeat, we are not going to take any contracts on day 1. You can only do tier 1. The way this works is every 3 days, if you perform satisfactorily, you can upgrade the tier. If you will just wait 1 day to let yourself get some reputation going on from delivering those cars to the bridge site and making 1 passenger run, you can have a perfect reputation tomorrow, and then you can open up these contracts and you'll be able to go straight to tier 3, which is going to save you 6 days. 6 days. and allow you to make more money in bonuses. So do not take any contracts on the first day. We are only going to make a little bit of money off passengers today, and that is perfectly fine. And that leads me really nicely into tip number 7. Get your locomotive and make one passenger run. So you'll click on the passenger car, you will click both depots, and then once you hook a locomotive up to it, you can send him on AI, and he will go make the stop at Whittier and all the way over to Ella. And then you can send him right back. You just need to make one to get your passenger rating for the day, and for today, that's it. We don't need any more than that. We're not trying to make a lot of money. All right, tip number 8, don't forget to check for the oil levels. See, that one's a bit low. We're going to oil that up. Just needs to be stationary. Technically, it's just below 5 miles an hour, I've noticed. You can actually get the train moving at like less than 5, and it will allow you to oil them. I don't know if that was intended or not, but it actually works kind of nicely because you can just kind of pull the train past you nice and slow. And you can oil up all the boxes here, which is good, the gear boxes. But don't forget to do that. And then notice these are all the cars going to the Ella Bridge site. So we're going to go ahead and deliver those. You can just speed up time, and then you can do this at the same time you do your pasture run. So think of that as like the next tip is running a mixed train for the first couple of days. Just do it all at the same time. Save yourself some time. All right, and tip number 9 is a little bit more nuanced, but essentially the way the finance system works, it charges it makes more loan money available the more value you have in equipment. So like, for example, when I sell this caboose away, my max loan that's possible is actually going to drop a little bit, which is understandable and natural in the business world. But yeah, we only loan according to our assets. So if the value of our assets drops, not counting cash, then this will drop as well. It's not one-to-one, and that's not the point. But if you want to take a loan and try to get more of a loan, which you don't really need right now, but if you wanted to try to buy, better locomotives or something, maybe you wanted some better ones, then you would want to get all those loan increases done before you start selling equipment. So before I sell the caboose, if I want to trade off this locomotive once it's all fixed up because it's really terrible and unpowerful, trade it in for anything better, then yeah, you would want to possibly consider taking a loan before you do that, in a bit of fairness. But yeah, it's just my advice, because the finance system, the way the loans works, is the more equipment and assets you have, the more loan you can take. So take your loan early if you're going to take one, but just remember, you don't actually need one. All right, and then my last tip of the day, because I think that's enough for now, is going to be just go ahead and go to these log cars, go to operations. For load, send them all to L2 because you've got 8 of them. Copy that to all the cars. That way you can just go take the whole cut at once, load all the whole cut at once, and bring it back down. Keep in mind, if you go to tier 3 on the sawmill, it's going to require 15 cars of logs. This one track here at Conley Creek is not going to give you 15 cars of logs in a day. It's only going to give you 12. So you might want to consider changing some way bills and making a second trip later. But that'll get you started for now. What this will let you do is when tomorrow happens, so we deliver our cars, we run through some hours here. What'll happen is, as soon as midnight comes around, so we're past midnight, notice we get a reputation here. Now, I didn't actually deliver the passengers, and so that's on me. I should have, and it's okay. I just didn't want to take the time. But if I had delivered the passengers, this would be at 110%. And so now when I go to my locations, what that would have allowed me to do is that would have allowed me to open up to tier 3. So like I said, make that passenger run so this doesn't happen to you. This is tip number 10. And then as soon as you pass midnight of the first day, so notice it's day 2 now, go to your locations and you can open up all your contracts. So all of your contracts should be able to go to tier 3, and you just saved yourself 6 days. If you learn anything from this video, learn that. Okay, let's see, Hollyfield, Stenzel, the sawmill, and farm supply. Those are all the places where you would want to go to tier 3. And then the very last thing to do would be to go to your milestone. If you finished the phase 1 of this Ella Bridge, you'd want to step hour by hour until you do. Just make sure you order phase 2 before 6 a.m., which is when the next interchange train comes in. Whew, sorry. But anyways, I hope that was helpful. I sure hope it was. And if you're new to the game, you're going to love it. It's a fantastic game. I've enjoyed every bit of it. And if you're a veteran, maybe you learned something from it. If you didn't, then, hopefully my angelic voice was entertaining for this period of time. All right, guys, appreciate it as always. And we will catch you guys out there next time. See you later.